do it all together, and we can start a technical process of negotiations and opening. And I hope that European Commission has the instruments. But of course, all the time we see those difficulties repeating. But at the end of the day, somehow we manage to proceed. So probably this time will be successful too. But of course, one country cannot misuse the instrument of consensus, because it's making the decision process in European Union very difficult, and I think that time is very important. Time is precious right now, and if we lose, if we waste the time, then of course we get a lot of problems, and we cannot.
The ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia will not happen soon. So what's your message to Putin and Zelensky?
I think the situation is complicated right now. It is not necessarily it leads to a very long process of ceasefire. Maybe President Donald Trump, as I mentioned many times, has sufficient leverage in his hand, and he I think will be able to put those instruments on the table, and Russia will be, if not be invited with the goodwill, they will be pressed to do this. I hope that it is possible. It's complicated, but having in mind the leadership of the American president yesterday in the NATO, as we are ready to take the decision 5%, I could not imagine such percentage 2 years ago, but now this is a reality, and this is thanks to American president. So maybe in this process he will step up with more resolve, and we will do much more than we did in the past. Of course, some instruments we already proposed by European Commission, like SAFE, like national escape clause, and my country, and I hope all countries will use those instruments to the full extent. But of course, we have to look forward, and I see in the future the big need to increase the European budget in the multi-annual financial framework to 28 to 34, taking into account those new priorities. First of all, our defense and security, competitiveness, support to Ukraine. I hope that there will be resolution of the war in Ukraine until the next multi-annual financial framework. But right now, I am not very big optimist, and I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is because of Russia's unwillingness to proceed, because Russia is pretending, imitating the negotiations, and I think the absolutely necessary precondition for any peace deal is ceasefire, and this is not the case. So our response should be clear and strong. We have to impose 18th package of sanctions. In my view, this package is good, strong, sufficient. But of course, it would be good to avoid any exemptions and softening of this package. Also, very important to keep transatlantic bond with our biggest ally, United States. So my country is in favor of inviting our like-minded countries, third countries, non-European Union member countries, in the procurement schemes of defense equipment. And I think this is very important to keep this transatlantic bond through this critical period of the different challenges. Ukraine, as I mentioned, 18th package of sanctions. Of course, acceleration of negotiations process. It's not good if we see selective approach towards some countries which are aspiring the European Union membership. I am talking about Moldova and Ukraine. Both countries are putting a lot of efforts and doing quite well in implementing the reforms, but unfortunately due to some bilateral obstacles, and you know what I am talking about, Ukraine cannot open the first cluster of negotiations, and I think we have to open this first cluster as soon as possible. And of course, until the end of the year, we have to open all remaining 6 clusters of negotiations. I think it is productive to set ambitious political targets. For example, to see Ukraine as a member of the European Union at the January 1st of 2030. It's tough, but at the same time it's motivating. And I hope that we will be able to accelerate our efforts and to avoid any kind of misunderstandings, because this is counterproductive right now.
How will you try to